What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Rashid with Q&A. Excuse the poor quality of the of my MacBook. Basically, I was gonna shoot it with my GoPro, but the battery's dead right now. So, you know, we're gonna be non-HD. Well, most of my vlogs are anyway, so you're probably used to it. All right, so I told you guys to shoot some questions. It's pretty interesting that most of the questions, well, a good portion of the questions have nothing to do with fitness, which is fine with me. I like that because it's way more to life than the gym and muscles in your body. So that's pretty cool that you guys are, asking different questions. Some of them I I don't know the answer to, but well, I'll do I do my best and hop into it. Um, So you guys asked me some pretty deep questions like on existence and stuff like that. Somebody asked me about aliens. Uh, you know, listen, I'm not a conspiracy guy. However, I don't think that we're alone in this huge universe. It's just so much. Who knows? Um, People say, I know a lot of scientists say that they can't find other places with conditions conducive to life. But I beg to differ. Uh, the simple fact that it may not be conducive to life for us, but you don't know what other species can or have adapted to. Just like there's animals in the water so far down to where they're saying, oh, nothing can survive with, there's no sunlight getting down here, blah, blah, blah. And there's, you know, aquatic life down here thriving, even plant life. So, everything adapts, you know what I mean? You have natural adaptation, you have all kind of things. So who are we to say that nothing can exist out there in the vast universe? You know what I mean? Who knows? It's very interesting. I don't know. I don't think anybody else knows. I did hear an interesting theory way back in the day when I was in college. Professor he talked about like uh, he never said that he believed that there's extraterrestrial life form, or also talked about like spirits, like people's spirit, when they die and all that stuff. He was one of those guys that made you think. He'd just throw things out there and you think and you talk and you discuss things. And that's I like that. That's fun. So basically what he said was that we exist in a series of directions. Each X amount of directions are inside of X amount of dimensions. So basically, what we are able to perceive right now is three different dimensions, which each dimension has set amount of directions. He said that, science has proven that there are more than three dimensions. It's just that our brains, our minds are not trained to see in those dimensions, which have different directions. So with that being said, there can be directions or things in certain directions or in a dimension that exists that we don't know is there. You understand? Just like there's animals in the Galapagos Island that none of us have ever seen. That doesn't mean they don't exist. You know what I mean? We just never seen it. There's certain insects that don't crawl up, that only scour forest floors, that don't realize birds exist. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's just basically he was saying that what if, we do have visitors and they land in dimensions or directions that our brains are not able to see. You know what I mean? So I thought that was interesting. So who knows? Aliens, I don't know. Area 51, I have no idea. It could be the 52 fake to throw us off. Who knows? You know what I mean? All right, so moving right along. All right. Talk about mental toughness. This just came in. Talk about mental toughness and pushing through adversity. I know you already done that, but it's nice to hear from a successful self-made man about persevering through pain and strife. Let me tell you about pain and strife. I've had my fair share. You know, that's life. That's what life is about. You got to take the good with the bad. Typically the good outweighs the bad. There's an old saying, and I truly believe it. There's always sunshine after the rain. You know, Sunshine lasts longer than rain. Rain is very temporary, and that's the pain, that's the strife. Now, my whole perspective on like adversities, excuse me, and stuff like that. I've been through a lot. There's a lot that you guys don't know about me that I've never really talked about that I will discuss at some point when the time is right. But I always looked at it. I've been at the lowest of low in life as far as hitting all-time lows before, and I've been in situations when I had no help. I've had no support group. You know what I mean? And it was a situation to where you either sink or swim. So and I swam. So I don't necessarily have compassion to people's pity for themselves. I don't believe in pity parties because I feel like, you know what? Grow some testicular fortitude and make it happen, whatever it is that you have to do. And when faced with an adversity, these things, I've gotten to the point to where I've dealt with so many that I'm like, bring it on, because literally I believe that it will make me better. It will make me strong. It's not going to conquer me. I have this type of mentality. Y'all got to understand, this is the type of guy that I am. When I used to box, like that was my first type of competition when I was a boxer, when I was growing up. I would see like opponents or whoever they would match me up with. And I'm like, in my mind, it's like, there's no way you can beat me. It's like, I would even tell them that, it's like, this is impossible. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing when I'm in the gym or, it's a new PR, some heavyweight. I'm like, you know what? Watch out. I'm a lift this without any question or hesitation. You know what I mean? Any doubt, And I tell people that too. Like, I don't know. I never went that heavy. I never did this. I never did that. Like, no, fucking just do it. Just do it. You know what I mean? So it's like that. You have to put this certain. What I do is I just have, and it's something that I've been practicing since I was young. And I don't know if it's a certain confidence or you trick yourself into believing that you could do pretty much anything, but that's what it is. I've tricked myself into believing that I'm pretty much invincible. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds very cocky, but I'm not trying to be cocky at all. I try my best to be as humble as possible, but I happen to be a very confident person, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I've been through a lot in life. I've won a lot of battles. I look at myself as a winner, and I am attracted to other winners. I am attracted to strength, and I'm not talking about physically strong people. I'm talking about people who have that strong will, people who are just strong in here. That's the type of people that I like being around because it keeps me sharp. It keeps me in a constant state of progression in every aspect of my life, And, I name these some certain workouts, this or that, and try my bench press progression, squat progression, because it's got to be progression. You must progress. If you don't, you're going to be stagnant. You're going to plateau. You plateau for so long, you start declining. I'm not about that at all. All right. So, all right, we're going to move along to another question, comment. Conscious and unconscious mind. I'm not trying to be all deep on y'all. I'm answering y'all questions. Y'all not asking me no basic, how many reps per set. Y'all asking me some more existential type of stuff. You know what I mean? So conscious and unconscious minds and how they play a role not only in bodybuilding but in being successful. Listen, just be successful. That's it. Just be successful. Okay? Now, of course, it may be a little more complicated than that, but actually it's not. When I say just be successful, it's a process to everything. You obtaining $1 million, that's doable, just like it's doable if you go in and make yourself a sandwich. When you make yourself a sandwich, what do? You stand up, walk to the kitchen, grab your ingredients, put it together, and you have your sandwich. It's a plan, it's a process. The same with your way of being successful. And I said $1 million, excuse me, that may not be what success is to you. Whatever you feel is success, that's success to you. Okay? So, with that being said, you decide or figure out what is your plan of attack. You decide or figure out what is your process, and you follow it. If it's a long process, if it's a difficult process, whatever it is, you follow it, and chances are you will be successful. When I first moved to California and started training, I literally wrote out my process and taking my career to the next level. I wrote it, closed the book, sat it away, and just went to work. Okay, like a year later, I'm like, damn, let me look back at that book. I happened to look at it, and I swear to you, everything that I wrote, I had written, I had accomplished. You know what I mean? So you have to plan. You have to make a process. Now, you asked me about conscious and subconscious mind. Uh, yes, I mean, I've talked about this before. There's a lot of books out on it, and I've read a lot of them. It's a topic that I'm very interested in. Basically, the power of the subconscious mind. It's extremely powerful. I practice it. I exercise it as much as I can. I see others do it. I see people doing it without knowing they're doing it. People with strong faith, strong belief, people who follow the secret, people who, you plant something in your mind and you really believe it, it happens. It just does. That's just one of the mysteries of the mind that we don't understand. Our mind, we use such a small portion of our brain, of our mind, and it could be because we're not ready to access that much of it, because we'll probably destroy each other, because humans are so fucking greedy and so, vindictive, and so it's probably a good thing that we don't use that much of our mind. However, there's a lot that we don't understand. I can't explain why it works like that. I cannot explain to you why when you put something consciously in your subconscious mind makes it a reality, but it does. All right. So, with that being said, moving right along. I'm on Instagram reading y'all stuff on there. I'm gonna move over to Facebook in a minute. This might be a long blog, but I don't care. Why you quit rapping? I used to rap back in the day. I loved it. But I always told myself at a certain point, if I didn't make it to that superstar status, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna move on. I got kids. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to, be pursuing a dream for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? And also, the rap industry. I love rap music. I love music in general. I'm a huge fan of the arts, and it's not just rap music, but whatever sounds good to me. So the culture of rap music, I just didn't like it. Lyrics very, very becoming just grotesque by the day. It seemed like every artist was trying to push the envelope of saying the most shocking things, disrespectful things, things towards women, nothing but talking about money. And I really, really, really I have a really strong hatred on how these artists are misleading children and young impressionable people and pushing this drug culture on everybody, Molly's and this and that, you know what I mean? To each his own, Listen, I don't judge people. If people want to do whatever substance to make them feel better, that's fine. As long as you're not out robbing, stealing, hurting people, you do what you do. However, I feel like when you have the power of influencing a lot of people, and you influence them to something negative, something destructive, something that can harm them, I feel like that's wrong. And I hate it. I hate seeing youngsters like zombies. You know what I'm saying? It's sad to me because so many people with so much potential that's getting misled because they may not have that strong family structure. Or maybe they do. They may be a little bit rebellious and they're looking elsewhere for some guidance. And this is what you're guiding them to, Molly's, or whatever. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, these artists are not even using these drugs that they're talking about. So I think that that's a disgusting thing. I think that it's a horrible thing to to give people when people give you their money. You know, you have this fame, this notoriety, and the best you could do is just entertain them with bullshit, with nothing to stimulate anything up here. And you know, sometimes I like to listen to some, you know, music. I don't half the time I don't know what he's talking about. I just like the beats and whatnot. But I do like lyrics. I like good lyrics when it comes to rap music. But sometimes you want to get turned up when you're training and just go crazy. But you know, not everybody can separate that and just like, oh, that was stupid what he said. But I like the cadence, or I like the rhyme pattern, or whatever. Some people are really listening to that and they taking that shit to heart, and I just don't like that. That's something I don't agree with. Um, it would be a losing battle trying to like talk to these guys or trying to change the game or whatever. So, you know, it's something I just stay away from. So I know that was a long answer to a short question, but I just felt like it was my time to leave the rap career alone. Um, I wasn't interested in it no more. I didn't have any passion for it anymore. I'm a huge fan. I have friends that do music. The guy that makes a lot of the beats that you hear behind my videos is one of the most talented artists I know. He's a genius, and I love listening to his stuff. I love listening to other artists' things, music, but I'm not interested in being an artist. I just want to be a fan. All right. Okay. Let me refresh this. All right. Okay, should definitely talk about all fuck boys who accuse UNCT of being on gear. You know, I'm not gonna discuss them because it's not worth my time, honestly. And pretty much people who this is you got people who this is listen, how we train and what we do is, you know, it's not the normal. You know what I mean? We're not the only hardcore training type of guys out there. You know what I mean? There's other guys that get busy. You know, whenever I'm in Texas at a destination in Dallas, I train with the fellas. You know, my boy Lou, John, Izzy, like, yo, and we fucking get busy. You know what I mean? We destroying shit. Just like me and my fellas at Long Beach, at Metroflex Long Beach, at the original Iron Addicts gym. So, but you see us, you know what I'm saying? So you have a lot of people who don't train like that. You have a lot of people who are set in their ways and they see what we do and they may be, I don't know, either intimidated by how we train. Maybe they have a following and they don't want people they don't want their followers to see something what they may feel is superior and leave. You know what I mean? So they go throw stuff out there like, y'all don't want to do that. Only natural guys can't do that. And I'm like, dude, like, first of all, you're telling people don't work hard, because that's all we do is we work hard. We train hard. We don't conform ourselves in a box of only doing this set amount of this or that. You know what I mean? So those guys, fuck y'all. You know what I mean? You're a coward. You know what I mean? You hide behind that. You know, you say natty, natty, natty. I think that's a stupid ass word. I'm tired of hearing it. I don't care if people natural or not. You know what I'm saying? Hard work is hard work. And let me tell you something. Beyond that, you may look at me and say, oh, he's always lean. He's always this. You can't do that. I even seen a video with a guy, and I never heard of this guy. It's a ridiculous name. My boy put me up on it. And you hear him taking a little jab at CT, you know, but the guy looked like nothing. You know what I mean? And his whole video was hating on people who look good. Like, he looks too good to be natural and all year. And this guy, the size of his arms, it can't. It's like, you guys, it's so ridiculous. It's like, what do your girlfriend think about you? Like, you know what I mean? That you're that much of a hater. You make a video talking shit about everybody. You know what I'm saying? That you feel are superior to you, because that's what you're doing. You're trying to tear them down by throwing shit at them. You know what I mean? I know plenty of guys that's on steroids, has been on steroids for a long time, and that's on a lot of steroids that look like shit. You understand? That are not strong. Steroids is not it. Is not it, y'all. I'm gonna tell you. I feel like you look at like the extremes, you know what I mean, the top of the sport, bodybuilding or whatever, and you still can't say, oh, that's just all steroids. You know, you gotta understand the most anabolic thing you put in your body is food. When you're on that level, guys, eating is a job. You know what I mean? And that's how you get big, not sticking needles in your ass. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that is the finishing touches or whatever, but that's not the end all to it. You know what I mean? Another thing, genetics is huge. It's a fact. You know what I mean? Now, you can outwork your genetics. You can try your best. However, genetics is you're predisposed to certain amount well, certain limitations. However, you can keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you push beyond those limitations. However, genetics is a huge part in how you look. You know what I mean? And how you perform. You understand? So as far as that's concerned, like it's just I don't entertain the conversation ever because it's stupid. It's cop out. You know what I mean? It is something that I think is beneath having a conversation about. So I'm just like, man, it's always pussies that, oh, they're on this, so they do that. I'm like, okay, whatever you say, bro. If that makes you feel better at the end of the day, fine, you know. Okay, so let's see. Let's move right along. Let's see. Toughness. Your diet approach. That's boring. I already talked about that. Tips on starting YouTube. Just do it. Testosterone supplements, good or bad. I don't know a whole lot about testosterone supplements. I'm sure you're talking about pro hormones and stuff like that. Test boosters. What I do know, well, I don't know much about it at all. It's never anything that I've ever tried. What I've heard is that they are harmful. I heard that, that they're probably more harmful than actual anabolic steroids. And I've always heard stay away from it. So my advice would be stay away from it. I did a video a while back talking about, natural ways to bring up your testosterone levels. So, you got to put yourself in a completely anabolic environment. You know what I mean? You got to be training hard. You got to be eating the right foods. You got to be resting. It's got to be on your mind that you want to get big. You know what I mean? So all of these things, as far as taking supplements to boost your testosterone, I wouldn't suggest doing it. If you did have low testosterone, which a lot of guys do, it's just a fact. We have so many impediments nowadays that bring testosterone levels down. We don't have the test levels that our grandfathers had back in the day. Those were men. You know what I mean? Things have gotten watered down and pussified. So I would recommend you going to a doctor, getting your levels checked. If you're low, then they will prescribe what you need. But other than that, I would stay away from all of that kind of stuff. Because I did hear that it's pretty dangerous. Okay, he might go over the best things for teenagers, young teenagers, to do exercises and building muscle while we were young. I lifted when I was a teen. I was actually really strong when I was a teenager. I left high school. Well, I was fairly strong. I left high school benching 275. Like when which leg was that? Give me 1 second. There you go. Sorry about that. I lifted. I suggest lift. Just worry about the basics. Pull-ups, push-ups, bench press, squats. I didn't squat when I was in high school, though. I was boxing, and I wasn't supposed to be benching either. But I did do a little bit of lifting. But, do all your basics. Learn how to deadlift. Learn how to squat. Learn how to bench press. Overhead presses. Pull-ups. Do a lot of sprints, a lot of running. You want to be strong. You want your endurance to be up there. And then it also depends on what your goals are, as far as how you want to train yourself. But I do think you should um, practice the basic lifts, because that's what's gonna, all through life, all through your lifting career, that's what's gonna get you to where you need to be. Okay, let's see. Toning after excessive weight loss. Um, and that's a good question. Basically, excessive weight loss. You know what's excessive? So I would have to really sit down with you, see where you've come from, see where you're at now. It's That's a very interesting question to just give a general answer, and I don't want to mislead you like that. However, toning is, building muscle and becoming more muscular, and the best way is resistance training. Those lifts that I just talked about would be pretty much what you want to do, and a lot of it. Okay. I'm on Facebook now. A good friend from Australia, Rob Z, said, Mike, can you talk about how to manage a spinal disc injury? Hard to get motivated to get back when your doc is saying you're out. Lack of exercise let the mind lose focus. Also, best time of day to take IX3 Omega 3. I'm loving all the Omega 3, all of the IX3 products. Thank you. Thank you. Best time to take your Omegas is with meals. That's when I take mine. Excuse me. In terms of how to manage a spinal disc injury, sounds very serious. I honestly don't have an answer for you because I've never dealt with an injury like that. And if your doctor is saying you're out, I would probably stick with what your doctor says and just get back healthy and come back strong when you're all rested up and healed. You don't want to keep compounding that injury and making it worse and worse. Okay. How important rest is. Rest is very important. Rest is just as important as you training. And sometimes, honestly, like lately, I haven't been getting as much rest as I am accustomed to getting and as much as I need to get, just because I'm so busy a lot and I have a lot on my mind all the time. So sometimes I lay down, and if it's quiet, I can't stop thinking. So a lot of times I turn the TV on to kind of like silence my mind and fall asleep. But rest is very important. You got to get as much sleep as possible. That's when your body's growing. That's when your body's recovering. Okay, and it's good for your brain functioning as well. All right, y'all. You know what? I can do this all night. It's almost 30 minutes in, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. Maybe I'll do another one tomorrow. But I am actually getting tired. My boring voice has bored me to where I want to go to sleep now. So much love to all you iron addicts out there. Y'all get some sleep, get some rest. I'm about to get some rest. Get up, bright-eyed, bushy tail tomorrow and handle business. All right, love y'all. Peace.